If you are a Gemini, on paper, you should be outpacing everyone around you. Your mind is faster. Your communication skills are sharper. You can learn anything in half the time it takes other people. You see connections between ideas that nobody else sees. Mercury gives you the most versatile, adaptable, and quick-processing mind in the zodiac. With those tools, you should be building empires made of ideas. So why does it sometimes feel like everyone else is getting further with less? Why do people with half your intelligence and a fraction of your creativity seem to build more tangible success? The answer is self-sabotage. And the way a Gemini self-sabotages is uniquely painful because it looks exactly like productivity from the outside while producing almost nothing on the inside. The first pattern is spreading yourself across so many things that none of them ever reach the depth where results live. This is the most costly pattern a Gemini has. Mercury gives you curiosity that is genuinely limitless. And that curiosity is a gift when it is channeled. But unchanneled, it becomes the reason you are always busy and never finished. Here is how it plays out. You start a project. You are excited. Your mind is firing. You make extraordinary progress in the first phase because your speed is unmatched. Then another idea appears. And it is brilliant. And it is connected to the first thing but also separate. And your mind says yes to it before your calendar has made room. So now you are running two things. Then a third appears. Then a fourth. And you are genuinely engaged in all of them, moving all of them forward. But none of them are moving forward fast enough to break through. Because breakthrough requires depth. And depth requires the one thing a Gemini resists most. Staying with one thing long enough for it to mature. The cost is a portfolio of interesting starts and zero finishes. A resume of potential that never converted into proof. Here is the fix. Pick your top project, the one that is closest to producing a real result, and give it 60 days of primary focus, not exclusive focus. Your Gemini mind would rebel against exclusivity. But primary focus, it gets your best hours. It gets your first attention each day. Everything else moves to maintenance mode. In 60 days, a Gemini operating at primary focus will produce more than most people produce in a year. And the result of that focus will be the tangible proof that unlocks everything else you want. Depth first, breadth second. That order changes everything. The second pattern is talking about your plans instead of executing them. A Gemini processes through language. That is Mercury's nature. When you have an idea, your instinct is to discuss it, to share it, to workshop it out loud with anyone who will listen. And that processing is genuinely valuable in the early stages. But here is the trap. For a Gemini, talking about a plan produces almost the same neurological satisfaction as executing the plan. Your brain rewards the articulation of the idea nearly as much as it would reward the completion of it. So you talk. You explain the business you are going to build. You describe the project you are about to launch. You detail the strategy you are going to implement. And with every conversation, the idea feels more real, more complete, more accomplished. Except nothing has actually happened. The business exists only in the conversations you have had about it. The project lives only in the descriptions you have given. And the people around you have heard about your plans so many times that they have stopped expecting them to materialize. Here is the fix. Institute a blackout period. For every new idea, give yourself 1 week of complete silence about it. Do not tell anyone. Do not discuss it. Do not workshop it. Just work on it. Quietly. Alone. Let the Mercury energy that would normally go into talking about the idea go into building it instead. At the end of the week, you will have something real. Something you can show instead of describe. And showing is exponentially more powerful than telling. A Gemini who learns to execute in silence and reveal on completion becomes someone the world takes very seriously. Because now your words have proof behind them. The third pattern is choosing novelty over mastery because mastery feels like a trap. This is the deepest one, and it goes to the core of how a Gemini relates to success itself. Mastery requires repetition. It requires doing the same thing over and over until the quality reaches a level that is undeniable. And for a mutable air sign, repetition feels like intellectual death. Your system is built for new information, new skills, new territory. The moment something becomes familiar, your interest begins to decay. And so you move on to the next skill, the next field, the next shiny expertise that has not yet become boring. The result is a person who knows a little about everything and a lot about nothing. And in the marketplace, a little about everything is worth very little. A lot about one thing is worth a fortune. Here is the cost nobody talks about. The world pays for depth, not breadth. The consultant who knows one industry inside out charges 10 times what the generalist charges. The creator who has mastered one format builds an audience 10 times faster than the one who experiments with everything. The professional who has gone deep in one domain gets the call that changes their career. And the Gemini who knows a little about 12 things gets none of those calls. Because nobody is searching for a person who is pretty good at a lot of stuff. Here is the fix. Choose one domain and commit to 3 years of deepening, not 3 years of exclusive focus. You are still a Gemini. Explore on the side. Follow your curiosity in the margins. But choose one area where you will go deep enough to become the person people call. The person who is not just interesting but authoritative. The person whose knowledge in this one area is so thorough that it becomes the foundation everything else is built on. A Gemini who achieves mastery in one domain does not lose their versatility. They gain a home base that their versatility orbits around. And that home base is what converts talent into income, curiosity into career, and potential into proof. Here is the bigger picture. All 3 of these patterns, spreading too thin, talking instead of executing, and choosing novelty over mastery, come from the same root. They come from Mercury moving so fast that it outpaces the timeline on which real results are built. Your mind works at a speed that is genuinely extraordinary. But results do not operate at that speed. Results operate at the speed of sustained effort applied consistently over time. And the gap between how fast your mind moves and how fast results materialize is where all of your self-sabotage lies. The fix is not to slow your mind down. That would destroy what makes you exceptional. The fix is to learn to stay in one place long enough for your extraordinary mind to produce extraordinary results. Because a Gemini who finishes what they start, executes what they describe, and goes deep where they used to go wide is not just talented. They are undeniable. Please remember that this video is for entertainment and personal reflection purposes only. It is not a substitute for professional career or financial advice. Every situation is unique, and if you are facing significant challenges, please consider speaking with a qualified professional. If this resonated with you, drop in the comments which of the 3 patterns you recognized in yourself immediately. Save this video so you can come back to it whenever you need the reminder. This is not going anywhere, and neither are these truths about who you are. Thank you for being with Stars Aligned. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a blessed day. You got this.